And welcome to the second part in a series of videos about content search and intelligence using Azure Cognitive Search. In this video, we will talk a bit about the predefined skills and custom skills, as well as Azure functions that can be built using the Azure Cognitive Services. We will end this video with a demonstration of the search capabilities as well. For content enrichment during indexing, Azure Search provides cognitive skills that transform content in some way. Think of it as a component that extracts data or infers structure, and therefore augments the understanding of the input data. Microsoft provides a number of predefined skills that are based on pre-trained models. Custom skills can also be built, which allows extending the cognitive search capability by calling out to a web API endpoint. In this video, we will demonstrate two custom skills that we've built. One is the content moderation custom skill, and the other is the document translation custom skills. Both of these are Azure functions, which use the Azure Cognitive Services web API. Now, Microsoft Azure Search also supports full Lucene query syntax and can perform wildcard, fuzzy search, proximity search, regular expressions, all from within the search index. The demonstration currently is fairly rudimentary, and unfortunately, there's no pretty interface. Although in one of the videos, we will be demonstrating integration of the search with a chatbot where you can actually see how to format that result. So all the calls that are being made here are to a REST API, and the output is in a JSON format. And it's just to demonstrate what can be returned. One thing to remember, it's quite easy to pretty up the output results using some of the libraries available online to build custom templates in order to render the JSON into HTML. So let's get started. And I've indexed a small quantity of files out here, which are a combination of images and documents. So as you can see, I've got a document count of 42, so it's returned 42 documents, and that's without any query in here. So now if I actually start by searching for the word Microsoft, I see that it's returned 12 documents, and it's found a combination of images as well as PDFs with the word Microsoft in it. Now, there's a lot of information that we refer to as metadata for these documents, and this is where the true power of cognitive search lies, providing enriched metadata that can be easily used to convert data into information, right? Now, for this demonstration and to make it easier to read, I'm only outputting the following in this search. So basically the key phrases in the document, the organization name, and which has been found in the document, and what language the document is in. So if you look out here, we can see that the language is English. It's found a key phrase Microsoft, and it's found Microsoft. In the next one also, it's an English document, and so on. So you can see there's also a Spanish document in here which says ES, and there are a whole bunch of key phrases which are in Spanish, as well as what organization names it did find in the document. Now, in case we do need to search for documents, for example, I've got too many documents over here. Maybe I want to search for documents which have the word Microsoft, but not Azure. And so we can just amend the query as follows. I go Microsoft and I put in a minus sign and I say Azure. But if in this case, I actually have to select search mode is equal to all, because by default, it uses the OR operator. So when you search for Microsoft and minus Azure, it'll basically look for any document or Microsoft or Azure. But when I say give me the search mode is all, not any. So when search mode is all, it actually uses an AND operator. So I'll get all documents with the word Microsoft and Azure, and then it'll filter that down such that it only returns documents which have Microsoft. So just to demonstrate before I actually run that query, I'm just going to search for the word Azure in here. So you can see there are 152 results that have been returned. Now, if I run the query again without an just to return documents which have Microsoft and not the word Azure. I click it, and now if we scroll up, you can see that there are only 5 documents returned which have the word Microsoft. So none of these documents will actually have Azure in it. And if we try and search for the text, the content in there, Azure, as you can see, there's nothing. There's no word. It can't find Azure in the return document set. So as you can see, it's fairly easy to filter information. So as you can see, now I'm searching for Microsoft, and I've got 16 results for Microsoft. Now, another thing to remember is we can also search for content in other languages, right? So now, for example, I'm going to look for the word humanos. So if I just enter humanos, and I'm going to uncheck the search mode also, it'll search any, it'll find the word humanos in any document. It's just an operator, and I click send. I can see it's actually returned a single document, and it's a Portuguese document, and it has actually found the word humanos in this image file. So you can see the language code out here is actually Portuguese. I can't see, it's not identified a key phrase, but if I can actually open the document for you, and you would see the word humanos in that document. Let me just open up the image and demonstrate that. So as you can see, this is the document, and first, second, third, the fourth word is actually humanos. So it did find the document, an image with the word humanos in there. If required, we can also translate a document from one text to another. So can also translate the text inside an image using the custom translation skill. And let me just demonstrate that for you. If I select translated text as opposed to this one, and let me run this query again to return a result. So you can see it's found all these words, and it got this OCR text, and this is the original Portuguese text, and it's actually translated an image into English for me. So this is the translated text. So now, once again, this is a custom skill that has been built in, and you have the Portuguese. So it can translate, besides images, it can translate PDF documents, it can translate images inside a document. So pretty powerful stuff over here. Now, moving on, if I can also search for the word banco, which is a Spanish word. So just to demonstrate, got a Spanish, an image again, and it's got a Spanish document. It's identified a whole bunch of stuff for me. Once again, it's given me the original document, which is the OCR text, which has converted, which the original Spanish document, and it's given me a translation of that. It's given me the English translation as well. So now in the last part of this demonstration, I'm just going to cover off a custom skill for content moderation. Now, Azure Cognitive Search has the ability to find specified content, for example, personally identifiable information, PII, in both documents and images. Now, this is really important because it actually identifies PII information inside an image, and it can tag the file and and run a workflow saying, okay, this image or this document has PII information, and it requires moderation. So currently, I've got a filter over here, and I'm going to say, give me all documents where needs moderation equals true. Now, this is a custom skill that we've built in, and it indexes all the documents, finds any document with PII, and will automatically flag it saying, okay, this document needs moderation. So if I run this query now, let me just remove the word banco. So it'll basically, what it's going to do right now for me is it's going to select all documents which need moderation. So if I click send, you can see it's actually identified 6 documents, and one of them is actually in another language, and it's identified it as requiring moderation. It tells me what it is. It says it's a close-up of a receipt, and there's PII information in there. So if I look within these 6 documents, there would probably have information regarding addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, IP addresses, so it can automatically identify this information for me once it's in the index. The other thing also is maybe I need to search for all documents which have the word Microsoft, and these documents need to be moderated in some way. So as you can see from the original document count of 6, I go down to 4 documents. So it's actually identified 4 documents in there, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff in here which says, okay, I've got personally identifiable information. There's social security numbers, there's phone numbers, there's an IP address, there's an actual address. So really useful stuff, as you can see. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to catching up with you in the next video where we will be covering off image analytics. So thanks for that. Bye.